Okay, hey people. What I'm going to do today is a quick tutorial on how to pick the American 1105 or 1100 series. This covers pretty much all the American locks, 700 series, 5200s, 5100s. They all carry the same cores. So first thing you want to do is peer into the keyway. Now generally in these American locks you'll be able to see the first pin and you'll be able to see the serrations on the first pin. Now the way American locks work is they have two serrations on the keypin and two serrations above the shear line on the driver. Now you can use these serrations basically as indicators as to where the shear line lies. So by peering in the keyway, I actually see that the first key pin has two serrations on it, and I can see those serrations. So that tells me that that is a long pin. So at any rate, I'm going to go in with my short hook, and the way you do this on American locks is you ride the heel of your pick along this warding right here, and that gives you leverage to set the pins once you get into false set. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to feel around, and I'm going to bring a couple pins up past their serrations to the shear line, and you should feel them click, and there we go. Already I've dropped it into false. I have two pins at the shear line. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to find the serrated spool hybrids that are hanging and caught at the shear line, and I'm going to go in and try and set them. Okay, I've gone in and I've set one of the deep pins that's hanging in there. Now I'm going to go in, and you can, if you need extra leverage, you can use that warding like I suggested, or you can also work from the bottom of the keyway, and your pick will be sitting on the actual shell. And when you lift up on the key pins, you should get good feedback through your tension wrench. Okay, now watch. As I pry up from that side warding, you can see the tension wrench moving back. Okay. Okay, so that one's now brought up to shear. I have to go in and find the remaining stuck pin, or pins, whichever the case may be. Okay, there it is. It's the second one in. Okay. Now, if you're just starting out picking the American locks, I suggest you start out with a key retaining one, because then you don't have to fight against the rotational return spring for the plug. Okay, now the very last pin that's held up is actually the number 1 pin. So again, I'm going to ride the heel of my pick along that left-hand side warding and pry up. Now you can see that I'm getting direct feedback when I lift the pin. See how the tension wrench moves back? And there we go. Boom. Open. Now, this is a key retaining American 1105 with a very radical bitting. You can see it's a 36274 cut. High-low, high-low. And it does work with the key retaining. See, with the key retaining one, there is no return spring to push the key back. So when you've picked it, you will know. Whereas in non-key retaining American locks, you actually fight the rotational force of the return spring. So so yeah, I highly recommend, if you're just learning, to go for the key retaining type. It can be a little harder to find, but probably worth it. And as always, use top of the keyway tension, and in this particular case I use a Majestic short hook, and that's that. So if I left anything out, feel free to comment and rate it if you enjoyed it. And peace as always. Have fun, and don't use this information for legal purposes.